Welcome to the next lecture of Electronics in Smart City. We are learning the chapter Smart Cities, Distributed Intelligence and Central Planning. In this lecture, we will see the Synergetic Smart City Framework. Based on findings from academic as well as practical literature, the Future Real Estate Institute has conceptualized a preliminary framework for the planning as well as implementation of a smart city concept for already existing cities, which shall pose a basis for discussion and future research. The framework was broken down into ideation, research, planning, implementation, and measuring. Adding to this, a dynamic communication feedback loop was included in every phase, which should increase citizen engagement, transparency, understanding, and long term acceptance. The synergetic smart city framework is inspired by the theories of design thinking and lean startup, which translates into an extended pre-implementation phase and the continuous incorporation of feedback. So in this diagram, the synergetic smart city framework is shown, in which the flow is from idea to reality. So let us see what are the various phases it is having. The first phase is ideation, in which there are three steps: proposal, brainstorming and impulse. In phase 2, that is the research phase, data analysis, interviews and survey. The phase 3 is planning. It includes partners, milestones and KPIs. Phase 4 is implementation, which includes the steps such as prototype, MVP, POC and realization. The fifth phase is measuring, which includes a report, KPIs and feedback. Phase 1, ideation. The ideation phase is initiating a smart city project and is the only part of synergetic smart city framework that is not fully transparent, since the communication feedback loop is restricted to impulse, provider and governmental entity. Impulse. The first step of a synergetic smart city framework is the impulse, which has to come either from governmental entity or an external impulse provider such as academia, a startup, a corporation, the civic society or an individual. Next is brainstorming. Similar to the design thinking process, it is advised that the impulse provider brainstorms together with governmental decision makers about the potential outlines, goals, resources, and already existing projects which would impact the smart city project. Already existing ideas from the impulse provider should be presented and analyzed according to the feasibility and practicability. In this step, current problems and future challenges have to be assessed provisionally in order to formulate an adequate proposal. Next is proposal. Depending on the legislation, a smart city project has to be tendered or funding has to be secured, which makes an initial proposal necessary. The city's government has to make this step on its own and lay ground for a smart city project by asking for funding or directly issuing a call for proposals. It should be communicated that any partner has to act according to the synergetic smart city framework, which could ensure transparency and citizen engagement. After the tender, one individual entity should take the lead for the next phase, research and analysis. So the next phase is research and analysis. In order to increase the granularity, a mixed method approach is recommended, which can help understand already identified issues, reveal upcoming challenges, stakeholder sentiment, and foster ideas for a holistic concept. Preliminary research objectives should be defined, which would translate into the researcher's scale. Among the research objectives should be to understand what the current pains of the inhabitants are, how they perceive their city, what they understand of a smart city, and what they wish for their city's future. The entire raw data as well as findings should be made accessible in an open data platform, which could positively affect acceptance and increase transparency while providing researchers or interested individuals with appropriate data sets for their own research. Step 4 is data analysis. Before commencing the first interviews, a systematic literature review of academic as well as practical publications should be conducted in order to inform the question guide for the interview and the survey. The acquisition of large amounts of relevant textual data could be enhanced by the usage of web scraping tool, working through relevant databases, etc. In order to accelerate the process and increase granularity, it might be advised, dependent on the research goals and resources, to automate text analytics using natural language processing, artificial intelligence. Then interviews is the next step. As a part of qualitative grounded theory approach, it is advised to conduct semi-structured one-to-one in-depth expert informant interviews. The interview should be conducted with samples of all city stakeholders, which we divide into permanent inhabitants, temporarily inhabitants such as commuters, tourists, refugees, etc., employees of the city administration and public utilities, academia, corporations, startup entrepreneurs, politicians, and non-governmental organizations. Yet, the sample size and level of saturation is dependent on the scale of project. Survey and report. Based on the findings from the data analysis as well as interviews, a survey should be designed. Depending on the project scale and previous findings, it could be adequate to use Likert scales as well as open-ended questions. The survey should be conducted online as well as offline with a similarly distributed sample as in step 5, yet with a larger sample size. The findings should be aggregated and presented in a report, and the raw data shared in the open access database similar to databases of New York City or Chicago, so which is happened earlier. Planning. The phase 3 is planning. Based on the research, objectives should be formulated and transparently communicated. We propose an open approach which should share the planning process in real time with the city's inhabitants via the city's website and or app, which should also aggregate all other services in one application. Using such a transparent approach, citizens could directly comment on the planning process or vote for certain proposals which could accelerate the process, foster engagement, reduce resentments, and increase the understanding. Seventh step is key performance indicators, that is KPIs. KPIs have to be set according to the varying objects, yet could also be adopted from the standards such as ISO 37120 2014 or based on the Gross Social Feel Good Index as proposed by Heriton. Adding to result oriented KPIs, as with the previously mentioned metrics, it is important to measure the interest, engagement, sentiment, and acceptance during the ideation, planning, and implementation process, which requires a different individual set of KPIs. Milestones. Each objective has to be broken down into feasible milestones which can be measured and calculated. The sentiment measurements during the planning process indicate how to break down the long-term objective, thereby the project would not overwhelm the city's stakeholders but allow time for adaptation, trials, and constructive feedback. The ninth step is partnerships. Concomitant is the vital to build strong partnership between the city stakeholders and to find suitable external partners that are capable of realizing the project's milestones. Depending on the legislation, calls for offers and a bid process could be required, similar to step 3. Phase 4 is implementation. The first significant milestone should be the creation of a centralized communication tool about the smart city project. This should be a website which includes the city's previous web services, an open innovation tool where citizens can post their ideas and vote, an open data library, and our proposed open planning tool. So this is the most important phase of development. In that, the step 10 is prototyping. Since one critical issue of smart city projects is cost, it is recommended to include a prototyping stage into the implementation phase. Prototype could be digital mockup, a presentation, demo video, or virtual reality experience, which would foster feedback, test for feasibility, and create a first proof of concept. Depending on virtual reality solutions availability, adequate data, intelligent simulation models, and budget, the various milestones of the holistic concept could be tested within a virtual reality environment. Step 11, minimum viable product and proof of concept. A minimum viable product, that is MVP, could be the basic implementation of a first milestone for a partial plan that could produce a real life data on usage, interaction, and create a proof of concept. In case of the Smart City project website, the MVP could be the open planning tool which could be added to the regular website with basic functionalities and advertised in the local media in order to measure interest and engagement. Test results should be measured and shared with the public, which would enhance the learning curve of other smart city projects as well as the quality of academic research. Step 12 is realization and scaling. If the proof of concept was positive and the generated feedback analyzed, the scaling stage within the implementation phase should commence. Scaling should be based on inhabitants' preferences, which could be expressed in voting process. This would increase acceptance, since it is evident that large parts of society do not have a clear vision regarding a smart city and see technological penetration in a city skeptically. The realization of milestones is always dependent on generated data and feedback, which might make it necessary to go back to previous phases or steps of synergetic smart city framework. Then the last phase is phase 5, measurement. Measurement should include e-service analytics, sensory data from connected devices, analysis of feedback, relevant city data from socio and ecosphere as well as economic data. It is vital to measure sentiment of the city's inhabitants in order to see if there are issues arising which could then be addressed. Due to the fact that its communication feedback loop is part of every step, measurement in phase 5 rather describes the final results after a long period of iteration and multiple learning cycles. Step 13 in that is key performance indicators KPIs. Measurability of key performance indicators and compatibility against other projects are an important aspects of constructive feedback and learning, which is why it is advised to incorporate a standardized documentation, tracking and a measuring system. Adding to individually designed metrics, it seems reasonable to use the standardized indicators for city services and quality of life. ISO 37120-2014, which enhances comparability between cities and smart city projects. These ISO standards help to quantify in a standardized manner parameters addressing the economy, education, telecommunication and governance as well as other major components influencing the quality of life and sustainability in a city. Step 13 can be seen as more diligent in-depth analysis compared to the constant measurements as described in step number 7. Step 14 is feedback. Even though synergetic smart city framework uses feedback at every step, concluding feedback phase should be included in order to aggregate and analyze the entire project, laying ground for future projects and knowledge creation. So this is the most important step. Next is a report. Crucial for the process is to summarize the data, findings, feedback and results which should be communicated in an understandable report. The city's stakeholders should be able to comprehend what the project has done for them by elaborating the cost versus profit structure as well as non-monetary benefits. Each report should be written as a case study in order to enhance learning for future smart city projects.